My name is Scott Mandel. I'm the president of the Studio City Neighborhood Council. On June 26, 2023, at a special meeting, the Studio City Neighborhood Council passed the following motion unanimously. The board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council at this point cannot support the Harvard-Westlake River Park proposal. Changes to the proposal in the FEIR do not adequately address concerns expressed by this board earlier in the process. It is our understanding that rebuttals to the FEIR from experts in the following subject matters are forthcoming: hydrology, noise, traffic, artificial turf, water, lights, bats, air quality, safety, and trees. We look forward to seeing that work product. Additionally, the Studio City Neighborhood Council remains concerned about the lack of a comprehensive conditional use permit. We wish to be involved in the drafting process along with Council District 4 and the applicant. Until that time, there are simply too many unknowns for us to support this project. I'd like to talk briefly about the process. From the first notice with 4 business days to prepare for this hearing, followed by the second with 8 business days, then the third that extended the review time. The multiple misfires for this hearing, which inconceivably is only virtually due to the, quote, imminent risks to health and safety due to COVID-19. We don't understand what that is about. Your constituents should have a right to attend in person and you should face them. Many local residents simply cannot understand what city planning was thinking, and perhaps you don't appreciate the stress and anxiety that this caused the community. Then there are the responses to the comment section, approximately 1,600 pages of what we feel were members of the public and experts being debased almost gleefully by the city. I've spoken with many stakeholders who felt personally insulted and ridiculed just for taking the time to express their sincere views. Put yourself for a moment in the shoes of the public. Terms of art such as less than significant, no facts of support, opinion of the commentator, and such, that list goes on. So please consider that the point of public comment is to engage with the public, who for the most part are not CEQA lawyers or city planning staff. Have a look at what less than significant actually is. See the results of the formulas and tables prepared by experts, all correctly refuted by lay persons, and witness the firsthand actual results in our neighborhood. See what happens when all we have are conditional use permits which are not worth the paper they are printed on. The devastating quality of life impacts on local residents who stated with such specificity what would happen because we knew the experts were wrong. They seem to be wrong quite a bit. On artificial turf, I'm not appealing to the city. I'm appealing to the applicant. Speak to your faculty, coaches, staff, athletes, students, alumni. Sacramento is taking up a statewide artificial turf ban, Assembly Bill 1423, due to the severe environmental and health issues. Plastic turf will be banned, perhaps this year, perhaps next. This is a chance for Harvard-Westlake to take the lead, lower the temperature, literally and figuratively, and commit to natural turf. Lastly, we also request full disclosure on the lease and sale of county land that the approval of this project requires. We would like to see full disclosure of the existing lease, the new lease, and the condition of sale, the price, and if this went through public bidding. We would like all that information before the City Planning Commission hearing. Thank you for your attention.
My name is Dr. Kyla Bennett. I have a PhD in ecology and evolutionary biology, and I also have a law degree. I am calling from the state of Massachusetts. The reason I am interested in this project is not because somebody is paying me to be here, but because I am one of the 2 scientists that discovered PFAS in artificial turf. I am here to tell you that there is absolutely 100% PFAS in the turf that is planned to be used in this project. The reason this is important is because in March of this year, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency said that there is no safe level of several PFAS, including one of the ones that we are finding in the turf proposed for this project. No safe level. It causes cancer. I have sat here for hours listening to these comments. I've heard people talk about green space and nature and progress. And plastic is not green space. Plastic is not nature. And plastic is not progress. This is the year 2023, It is not the 1970s. Plastics is not our future. Plastics are part of our problem. Speaking from somebody from Massachusetts, we always look to California as a leader, somebody who is going to help us forge a path for environmental progress. And in this particular case, I'm horrified to see that not only is there a proposal for PFAS-laden plastic grass, but that you're using crumb rubber, which is known to give children cancer when they play on it. There are studies that show that, which are not cited in the FEIR. Nobody on the East Coast uses crumb rubber anymore. We all know how dangerous it is. The FEIR is so flawed. I sent a letter with details about how flawed it is. There were citations to websites claiming it said things that they didn't say. I strongly urge you to think about the toxic chemicals that will leach off this field into the soil, into the LA River, and contaminate the entire neighborhood. I also strongly urge you to think about putting down acres of plastic in this time of climate change. And this will also emit so many microplastics. Please say no to this ill-advised project. Thank you so much.
My name is Bill Nye. I'm a Studio City resident. I've lived here 17 years. Everybody, while I very much appreciate the well-intended purpose of Harvard Westlake, let's keep in mind it's a private school. You are not going to be able to run on the track when the track team is running. You're not going to be able to swim in the pool when the swim team is swimming. Fundamentally, when people build plastic fields, I've played many, many times on the turf fields. These fields look green from ground level, but when you look at them from above, they're black. They've become heat islands. And this is well documented. These are not, it is a form of hardscape. Rain doesn't percolate through them. And furthermore, the plastic is going to end up in the LA River. And now apparently there are respiratory problems associated with these fields, as great looking as they may be. Just fundamentally, everybody, when Witsit Golf is gone, it will be gone forever. Now, I don't play ball golf, or balf as we like to call it. I play disc golf and I go there quite often in the afternoon. You're not going to have access to it in the afternoon. You're not going to have access to it during school team play. This, I understand Harvard Westlake's well intended, but it's a private school. They're going to have priority over this, as perhaps is appropriate. But once this thing is gone, we're never going to get it back. And that's why I oppose this project. Furthermore, the traffic is going to be something else, everybody. There's going to be a parking lot, but private school students from wealthy families are going to fill it with cars. You're not going to have access to it in the way you might think you would. And 5 acres of walking park sounds like a lot. It's really not very much. And few of us are going to have the opportunity to drive to a park to walk. And this may seem obvious in a way, but I encourage everybody to stop and think about it. Mainly, this avenue, this corridor, this gorgeous 16 acres of green is going to go away. Everybody, if you've never gone there and walked around, or never gone there and had a sandwich, it's spectacular. And if we lose it, we're never going to get it back. I understand Harvard Westlake's well-intending, but I oppose this project for the sake of my neighborhood. Thank you all very much.
My name is Dr. David Sonnerud. I'm a retired professor and avid tennis player, and I've lived in Studio City, my favorite place in this country, for a total of 10 happy years. I'm happy to share with Kimberly, the committee, and all those who love Whittington golf and tennis these comments that I have directed towards Harvard Westlake. I'd like to read these 4 parts of their mission statement, if I may. A diverse and inclusive community united by the joyful pursuit of educational excellence, living and learning with integrity, and purpose beyond ourselves. Purpose beyond ourselves. This core value of Harvard Westlake, one of the 4 pillars of their mission statement, is highly honorable, I believe. And it is a crucial value to instill in today's young people. In doing so, you're striving to guide your students to go out into the world, into their communities, and not just attempt to build lives and careers that benefit themselves, but to create purpose-driven lives that benefit and uplift those around them, those in their communities. How do your plans to demolish wedding and golf and tennis align with your mission statement? I don't think they do. In fact, I think they're in direct opposition. The destruction of countless mature trees that cannot be replaced by small ones and have the same effect. It will take away a beloved icon of Studio City and displace the thousands of citizens who treasure it. I submit that all these actions are in direct opposition to your mission statement, and they cannot be reconciled with the value of having purpose beyond oneself. What does this teach your students? It teaches them that no matter how much their actions harm others, harm their communities, with enough resources and power, they can go through life and do whatever benefits themselves, the few, regardless of what's best for the many. It teaches them to live lives without purpose beyond themselves. If your project is realized, I think it's incumbent upon you to revise your mission statement, or perhaps do the right thing, which is to change course and demonstrate your values to your students by your own example. Why not find another location that is better suited for this enormous athletic center? Keep Weddington Golf and Tennis open to the public. You'd have a great deal of support from the community, and you would do a lot to repair the Harvard Westlake brand from the significant hit that it's taken. You'd be seen as the good guys, the heroes, and you would align your actions with your own stated values. If you're unwilling to do this, then why not sell the property to someone who will? This would also do much to elevate Harvard Westlake's reputation back to the respected member of this community that it was prior to all of this. Please do the right thing, Harvard Westlake. It's not too late to change. Do the honorable thing, value your own mission statement, and do the right thing for your students. Thank you for listening.
I work at Tim J. Delaney Design. I've won creative competitions to redesign Ports Call Village in San Pedro, worked on the LA Clippers Stadium, Google campus up north, and redid the Notre Dame University football stadium. So I'm well aware of how to look at plans and ideas and concepts. I live a few hundred feet from Weddington Golf and Tennis, and I think it's important to look at Studio City as a whole, because Studio City is a village. It's not a business park or a master plan community in any way. We literally have zero capacity to absorb any more traffic, noise, pollution, heat, or density. I live in Footbridge Square, and as of today, our residential streets are a raceway of commuters and delivery services bypassing gridlocked Ventura Boulevard and speeding across Valley Spring and Valley Heart, rarely slowing down, running stop signs. It's absurd, and no one's doing anything about this. There is literally zero additional capacity for even one more car, let alone hundreds of students, parents, and users of this new facility. For too long, we've had a city government that puts developers first. The time has passed for that. We are the city, we pay the taxes, we elect our city leaders to put their constituents and our mutual quality of life first. It's time to stop bending over anytime any developer or anyone with deep pockets, connected members, or someone who promises they're going to deliver the world, yet ends up sucking up whatever character, space, or nature that's left in our continually overcrowded city away. I ask you to preserve this endangered low-density green space and stop trying to over-program Studio City. It's really important to look at this as a whole. Studio City can't absorb one more car, one more person, one more 80-foot light post, a huge construction project. We are over-programmed.
My name is Wendy Clank. I've been supporting the environment and supporting trees. I have a nonprofit. I'm currently in a CEQA action against the city. I'm very aware of the environmental impact, and I appreciate everyone's love for parks and schools and kids. And I don't think any of that is really in question, or Harvard Westlake. Clearly, after listening to this conversation, they have a lot of money and they have a good PR agency. But I think there's just two questions that need to be addressed. One is, zoning. I don't know why Harvard Westlake would have bought this property if they had never been given confidence from the city that they could change the zoning laws. Just a lot of money to spend to do that. So that is just seriously in question. Second thing is really the most important. It's the environment. A lot of people have been saying a lot of misinformation, and there's a lot of propaganda. Trees are not disposable. Our environment is not disposable. If somebody told you today you can live or you can die, do you want a swimming pool or do you want to live? Do you want to do fencing or do you want to live? These trees, that green space, it provides more than mental health and stress release and lowers blood pressure. So much more. People don't understand when you cut down a tree, those trees that are 80 years old, that carbon that's been in those trees is going to be released into the environment. So those 250 trees that are going to be cut down, all of that carbon goes back into the atmosphere. That is a lot. You're also killing all of the fauna, the wildlife, everything else, all the ecological, the environment in total, right? So the thing is we all have to be considerate of our planet and the environment, and we have to take that into account. So what's more important, I think, is, yes, the trees are living, breathing creatures. Those birds are living, breathing creatures. They're not disposable. You can't just plant another one and assume that it's okay. No. And somebody said, oh, those trees in 10 years will be able to, start sequestering carbon. No, they'll take 25 years before those trees are a carbon source for the first 25 years of their life. So everybody's been given wrong facts. And I really love that everybody's so excited and enthusiastic for this. And I feel like there's a way to mediate this conversation where the truth and the facts are supported. But right now, people are getting wrong information. So I'll just say this, the EIR and the CEQA, people said it's been approved. It is not, and it's very much in danger. So I strongly object and oppose this project. And I ask council and everyone who's listening just to give it more time and go through everything in detail.
Yeah, hi, my name's Matt Strain. I live in the community. I play golf at the golf course a little bit, not that much. I'm totally against this. I've been lived in this neighborhood for 10 years. I talk to people at the farmers market, people that walk around the neighborhood, people that run on the Valley Heart River path where I run. I've never met one person that's in favor of this. It's just on these Zoom calls where these people are incredible fans of Harvard Westlake, like they're saving Studio City or something. I think they're like operators or paid shills or something like that. Doesn't line up with the reality that I live in. This is going to be if they say it's a 1-year project, double it. I work in construction. We all know that usually when they say, oh, this is going to take 1.5 years, we all know out of the get-go, you can usually double it or close to double it. So you're looking at 3 years of thousands of dump trucks, concrete trucks, big rigs, heavy equipment, excavators, bulldozers. I mean, years of diesel truck engines running all day, 6 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day. It's going to be horrible for everyone in the neighborhood. The traffic, the concrete trucks coming when they do big pours. It's going to be cranes. It's going to be a disaster for years. Then we have raccoons, jackrabbits, egrets, squirrels. I mean, there's so many animals, frogs, lizards. They're just all dead. They all get a death sentence. They get to die, so they can have this. And this Valley Heart, school complex benefits the elite only, strictly. The multi-millionaires and billionaires in Bel Air and Beverly Hills who can afford to spend $80,000 a year to send their kids to high school, which is more than most of us peasants make in a year. They don't care. They don't live around here. They're not going to have to deal with traffic and noise. They're not losing a beloved thing that normal people from the area can afford to go spend $10 to take their kids to, play a little bit. They don't care. If they are golfers, they probably are members at Bel Air Country Club, which is, a couple $100,000 a year. It's an amazing golf course. It's just utterly beautiful. So that's where they'll go golf. It's not going to affect them at all. But all the hundreds of thousands of peasants who go there to play, too bad. Go drive 10 miles to Van Nuys. That's the only other cheap place where you can go that's not expensive and you can go quickly. It's only 10-mile drive. Just go there, peasant. Who cares? So this is benefiting the richest, most elite kids on the face of the earth and probably in human history who will never play in the NBA, mind you. These kids are not good enough, okay? Sorry, but none of these kids are going to be in the NBA, but their parents don't care because they have unlimited money. Kids of multimillionaires and billionaires just stomping a boot on the face of us normal people, taking something away from the neighborhood, destroying the environment, construction noise. I'm against this thing. Everyone in the neighborhood is against it. I've not met one person except these Zoom miraculous people that appear with, that are big fans.
My name is Kelsey McAllister, and I'm very thankful to speak on behalf of the proposed plan. Like so many others, I strongly oppose it for countless reasons that have already been mentioned. The plastic grass, the traffic, the loss of trees for the people and animals, the loss of the gathering for the community. I can go on and on. But what has me very disturbed is the dishonesty and the confusion that Harvard Westlake is creating by saying that these 16 acres will be accessible for all the people from sunrise to sunset. Just the name alone, River Park. What park? There is no park. There is a thin, small sliver of perimeter that people can walk along. And who wants to walk next to 12-foot concrete buildings and little saplings when the community right now can enjoy the open green space, even if you're not even on the property, just looking through and seeing the natural grass and the trees and all the animals and the people that are there gathering, having so much fun. And, as a parent with high school students, I am greatly aware and know the rigorous schedules of the ultra competitive culture that high school sports requires. These swimming pools and fields and gymnasiums will be taken up by the elite few, the students of Harvard Westlake, morning, noon, and night, leaving no availability for the public. And so it upsets me greatly to think that these people who, like many others, I'm confused who these people are. I am a foot soldier myself. I have grown up at Weddington my entire life. I have spent hours and hours there talking to the people. And I know that the community does not want this sports complex. And so the people who are speaking on behalf of Harvard Westlake, saying that they're excited because they don't play golf and tennis, but they want to engage in other sports. This is very misleading. And Harvard Westlake has intentionally created this confusion. And just like their property in Bel Air, history repeats itself. And it is my belief that our community will lose any access to what they already have. And also, just to touch a little bit on nostalgia, this place has given back to the community for 67 years. It is iconic. It is rich in Los Angeles history. And when we get rid of these landmarks, we are tearing apart the fabric that creates such uniqueness and specialness that Los Angeles gives the whole world. And, we might as well be any small town USA. So please, council members, please preserve the gem of Studio City for the people, and let's preserve this legacy for generations to come.